You're welcome to online lectures with PHARMACEUTICAL the School Boy. Today we'll take a look at pharmaceutical calculations, and the topic is isotonic solution. On today's lectures, I'm going to solve a question. Remember, our online lectures is question oriented, problems oriented. We solve questions from different sources. So one of my students sent a question after our last lecture, so I decided to solve it in this. And the question says, how many grams of boric acid should be used in compounding the following prescription? So let me write it on the board. Okay. The question says, how many grams of boric acid should be used in compounding the following prescription? Phenacane hydrochloride, E value 0.201%. Pilocarpine hydrochloride, E value 0.24, 0.5%. Boric acid, E value 0.25. QS, sufficient quantity. Purified water, add 60, that is 60 ml. Make isotone solution. Senior, 1 drop in each eye. 1 drop in each eye. Okay. Now, this question has to do with isotonic solution, as I had already pointed out. Now, to solve this question, remember, any solution that should be instilled in the eyes, parenterally, should be isotonic with the body fluid. So this should be isotonic with the what? Lacrimal fluid. In summary, what we intend to achieve here is that this solution should be able to have the same tonicity with a particular amount of sodium chloride in 16 ml solution. Simple. And we know by standard that 0.9 gram of sodium chloride in 100 ml solution is isotonic. We want to produce 16 ml of a solution. So, we need to find out. First step is to find out the amount of sodium chloride in 16 ml that will be isotonic. That's the first thing to do. So let's find. We know that 0.9% weight in volume sodium chloride is what? Isotonic. And 0.9% means 0.9 gram of sodium chloride in what? 100 ml solution. So 0.9 gram of sodium chloride in 100 ml solution is isotonic. So how much of this sodium chloride in 16 ml will be what? Isotonic. So we bring it up to 16 ml. How many will be in 16 ml for it to be what? Isotonic. We don't know, we call it X. So X is equal to what? 0.9 gram times 16 ml all over what? 100 ml. No time to waste. Let me punch this. Is what? 100 ml. So we have 0.9 times 60 divided by what? 100. So 0.54. So 0.54 gram of sodium chloride in what? 60 ml will be what? Isotonic. Remember I said we should try as much as possible to know Okay. Sorry, my alarm disturbing, so trying to switch off the alarms so they don't interfere with our lecture. Okay. Alright, sorry for the. Alright, so excuse me. Okay, our lecture is still on. So what we tend to achieve here, we have already calculated that 0.54 gram of sodium chloride in 60 ml solution is isotonic. Agreed. Now, sodium chloride is the common, in fact, that is the commonest of the agents used to adjust the tonicity of what? Solution. But not all solutions you must put sodium chloride. There are some you don't put sodium chloride. This gave rise to sodium chloride equivalent of these other ingredients. Now, phenalkane hydrochloride, 1%. has sodium chloride equivalent of what? 0.2. We use this sodium chloride equivalent of phenalkane to move it to sodium chloride. We use sodium chloride equivalent of pilocarpene to move pilocarpene hydrochloride to sodium chloride. We find its equivalent is as sodium chloride. Then, if we are done with that, we don't know the quantity of boric acid we need, so we'll keep it pending. So if we are done moving these two to sodium chloride, we add the amount in sodium chloride together and check if it will give us 0.54 gram in 16 ml. If it gives us 0.54 gram exactly in 16 ml, what it means is that this eye drop is isotonic. We don't need to add another thing. We just clean up this boric acid. But if whatever we get here, when we add the equivalent of this sodium chloride, these two ingredients in sodium chloride in 16 ml, if it give us anything less than 0.54 gram, that means this solution is hypotonic. That means we need to add extra sodium chloride. So we'll now subtract whatever we get here from here to know the extra sodium chloride we need to add to make it isotonic, to bring it up to 0.54 gram. If we calculate the extra sodium chloride we need, then we come back to boric acid. Remember, we are not adding sodium chloride here. We move sodium chloride we calculated back to boric acid using sodium chloride equivalent of boric acid. That's what we will do now. But if it is more, if it is above what we get from adding the equivalent of these two in sodium chloride together and get anything above 0.54 gram, that means this eye drop is hypertonic. So adding an extra thing will make it more hypertonic, which is not a good thing. We should be thinking of how to make it, bring it down to isotonic, not adding more to make it more hypertonic. That's the summary of what this question is all about. So let's go. We have calculated 0.54 gram of sodium chloride in 16 ml. Now let's just go down. What is this E value? It's simple. E value of an ingredient or a substance is the amount of the amount of sodium chloride that has the same tonicity with 1 gram of that substance, even volume of a solution. Let's assume that here is in 16 ml. So inside this 16 ml, if you say that equivalent of E value means sodium chloride equivalent. The E value of phenalkane hydrochloride is 0.20. What it means is that 0.20 with 1 gram of what? Phenalkane hydrochloride in 16 ml solution. That's the meaning. So if we have that at the back of our mind, let's go. So now remember, we need to find the amount of phenalkane first. It's 1%. 1%, this is simply 1% weight in volume because this is weight in volume. 1% weight in volume for phenalkane hydrochloride means 1 gram of phenalkane hydrochloride in 100 ml solution. So for phenalkane hydrochloride, I'll use PE for phenalkane. This is not a standard, just for us to be able to understand, not to write too much words. So I'll use pH, I'll use pH or P, let me say PHCl for phenalkane hydrochloride. Phenalkane hydrochloride is 1%, which implies 1 gram in what? 100 ml solution. But we are looking for it in what? 60 ml solution. So in 60 ml solution, we have what? In 60 ml solution becomes what? X. So X is now equal to what? 1 gram times 60 ml over what? 100 ml. Ml will cancel ml. 0 cancel 0. So this is what? 0.6 gram. 0.6 gram. 0.6 gram in what? 60 mil. So inside this 60 mil, the amount of phenalkane hydrochloride is what? 0.6 grams. That's the meaning of this 1%. So let's find pilocarpine 2. So inside this 60 mil, the pilocarpine is 0.5%. So let's go. Let me use PHARMACEUTICAL for pilocarpine. So we have PHARMACEUTICAL is 0.5%, which means 0.5 gram in what? 100 mil. But we're looking for it in 60 mil. So in 60 mil, we have X in what? 60 mil. So we cross multiply, we have that X is now equal to what? 0.6 gram, 5 gram times 60 mil over what? 100 mil. Mil we cancel mil. 0.5 times 60 is 30. 30 divided by 100 is 0.3. So we have 0.3 gram. 0.3. So there are 0.3 gram of pilocarpine hydrochloride in 60 mil. So the amount of pilocarpine in 60 mil is 0.3 gram, while the amount of phenalkane is 0.6 gram in 60 mil. But we need to move this amount, move it to sodium chloride, so we can add up and see whether we can get what we're looking for. Now, let's move pilocarpine first. Sorry, phenalkane. Phenalkane is 0.6 gram. Remember that the sodium chloride equivalent of phenalkane hydrochloride is what? 0.2. So what it means is that there's no space again. So what it means is that, where do I clean now? So what it means is that let me clean here. So what it means is that if we have 0.6 gram of pilocarpine in 60 mil, remember everything is 60 mil, and the sodium chloride equivalent of phenalkane is 0.2. What it means is that if the E value of phenalkane is 0.2, phenalkane hydrochloride is 0.2. What it means is that 1 gram of phenalkane has the same tonicity as what? 0.20 gram of what? Sodium chloride. That's the meaning. It means that 1 gram of phenalkane. Sorry. So if the E value of phenalkane is 0.20, what it means is that 1 gram of phenalkane has the same tonicity with 0.2 gram of sodium chloride in 60 ml solution. That's the meaning. But the amount of phenalkane here is 0.6 gram. Therefore, for phenalkane 0.6 gram, we have the same tonicity as X gram of what? Sodium chloride. So we have that X is now equal to what? 0.6 gram times 0.2 gram over 1 gram. 1 gram cancel gram. 0.6 times 0.2 is what? So if we say 2 times 0.6 is 0.12, so 0.012, let me confirm. It should be 0.012, let me confirm. We have 0.6 times 0.2. Sorry, is 0.12, not 0.012. So it's what? 0.12 gram. So this is the amount of sodium chloride represented by phenalkane in this solution is 0.12 gram. Let's calculate the amount of sodium chloride represented by pilocarpine. Amount of sodium chloride represented by pilocarpine. So we have, for pilocarpine, remember that the sodium chloride equivalent of pilocarpine is 0.24. So pilocarpine hydrochloride, the E value of pilocarpene hydrochloride is 0.24. What it implies is that 1 gram of pilocarpene hydrochloride has the same tonicity or equivalent to 0.24 gram of what? Sodium chloride. That's the meaning. So if 1 gram of pilocarpene hydrochloride has the same tonicity or is equivalent to 0.24 gram of what? Sodium chloride. That implies that, remember that we have 0.3 gram of pilocarpene in 16 ml. That means 0.3 gram of pilocarpene will have the same tonicity with S gram of what? Sodium chloride. So we look for X. X is now equal to what? 0.3 gram times 0.24 gram over what? 1 gram, which is what? So let's also point our calculator here, stress, we don't waste time. So we have 0.3 times 0.24, 0.072, 0.072 gram, 0.072 gram, 0.072 gram. So the amount, let me confirm again to avoid errors. So we have is 0.3 times 0.24, 0.072 grams, correct. So if that is the case, let me clear here, please. We are done with this side. So if that is the case, that means the amount of sodium chloride represented by phenylphenalkane hydrochloride is 0.12 gram, while the amount of sodium chloride represented by pilocarpene hydrochloride is 0.072 gram. So if you now want to know the amount of sodium chloride already present in this solution, we add these two. So the total is now equal to what? 0.12 gram plus what? 0.072 gram, which is now equal to what? 0.12 gram, 0.12 plus 0.072, 0.192, 0.192 gram. So this is the amount of sodium chloride already present in this solution. But remember what the calculation we did, that for it to be isotonic, there must be 0.54 gram of sodium chloride in 60 ml solution. But look at, as against 0.54 gram of sodium chloride in 60 ml, in what? 60 ml. We have 0.912 of sodium chloride in what? 60 ml. That means this solution is isotonic. That means we need to add extra sodium chloride to bring it up to 0.54 gram in 60 ml. And how do we do that? We simply subtract 0.192 from 0.524 gram. And if we do that, that will give all the extra sodium chloride we need to add. Remember how we got this 0.192? We moved these two to sodium chloride solution, to sodium chloride, and got this. So if we subtract this from this, we have 0.54 gram minus 0.192 minus 0.192. So we have, if we subtract this, 0.54 gram minus 0.192 gram, we have what? 0.348 gram. So the amount of the extra sodium chloride we need to add in this solution to make it isotonic is what? 0.348 gram of sodium chloride. But remember, this solution doesn't need sodium chloride. We need another tonicity adjusting agent to be able to adjust the tonicity, and the tonicity adjusting agent needed here is boric acid, and they're giving us the E value of boric acid as 0.52. So we use the E value of boric acid, which is 0.52, to move this amount of sodium chloride back to, move it to what? Boric acid. So trying to move this to boric acid now, we have something like this. Let me clear here. We have something like this. We now have, remember that E value of boric acid is what? 0.52, which means that 1 gram of boric acid. Remember that E value of boric acid is 0.52. E value of boric acid. Let me use boric acid. Let me use BA for what? Boric acid. Is what? 0.52. Which implies that 1 gram of boric acid has the same tonicity with, or tonic effect with 0.52 gram of what? Sodium chloride. That's the meaning. It means that 1 gram of boric acid is equivalent to 0.52 gram of sodium chloride. That's the meaning. We only have 0.348 gram of sodium chloride, so we need boric acid. So what gram of boric acid will now be equivalent to 0.348 gram of sodium chloride. This will help us to find the amount of boric acid we need. So that's equal to what? 1 gram times 0.348 gram all over what? 0.52 gram. Gram cancel gram. So simply do 0.348 divided by 0.52. 0.348 divided by 0.52. The answer is 0.669. 0.669. So we need 0.669 gram, or approximately, let's leave it at this, 0.669 gram of boric acid is needed. 0.669 gram of boric acid is needed, or I move it to 0.67, anyone is okay. But let me leave it at 0.669. 0.69 gram of boric acid is what we need. Is what we need to be added in this preparation to make it what? Isotonic. So the answer is 0.669 gram of boric acid. Please, if you have any question, feel free to ask. I'll give like 2 minutes for question. After 2 minutes, we end the lecture. Please call the number on the board. Any of these numbers 08138682003 or 07012945891. So 2 minutes, I'll wait for questions. 2 minutes, excuse me. Two minutes, we'll call it a day. Okay, I just confirmed something now. The student got this question from this textbook, Pharmaceutical Calculations by Howard C. Ansel. 14th edition. I just confirmed it, and that's where he got the question. And that's question number, that's page 180. Page 180. Page 180, examples, examples they used in page 180. That's where he got the question. And we actually got the answer. The answer is what? 0.669 gram of boric acid. So it's correct. Any question? We have 1 minute more. All right. In the absence of any question, we end our today's lecture here. But before we end, I want you to please subscribe to my YouTube channel. My YouTube channel name is PHARMACEUTICAL, the schoolboy. And between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. every day, I am live here. Lectures ranging from calculations in chemistry, mathematics, physics, pharmaceutical calculations, 2 and 5 a.m. Come online, you'll meet me here delivering lectures. Please share this information to your friends, to your colleagues, to your students, to your children. Please like, comment on my videos. Please, if you have any question, feel free. These numbers are WhatsApp. Chat me up on WhatsApp. Drop your question. In our next class, I will make our time to solve your question. 2 to 5 a.m. You will see me here live on YouTube solving these questions. Feel free. Any question, feel free to send. Okay. On Saturdays, every Saturday between 7 a.m. to 7:10 a.m., I organize academic competition titled Academic Battle with PHARMACEUTICAL, the schoolboy. Registration is free of charge, and there are prizes to be won. So chat me up for the flyers, or you can go on Facebook. Go to Facebook, like our page on Facebook. You see the flyers. You see it in Academic Battle with PHARMACEUTICAL, the schoolboy. You see a page on Facebook. You will see it in the community section of this YouTube. You see the flyer. The one that is coming up this Saturday being 2nd December 2023, is Igbo Language Battle 2.0 with PHARMACEUTICAL, the schoolboy. There are prizes to be won. Please, if you are moved, if you are led by the Spirit, you can donate. The account details is there on the flyers. You can donate so as to help in motivating our youth towards pursuing academic excellence. All right, we'll stop here for today. See you next time. God bless you.